All right, guys, it's been a little while since I've done a portfolio update. So we're going to jump right into this and see how it is performing. First, we got BTC up on the monthly. And as a recording of this video today, July 3rd, by the time you guys see it, happy Independence Day to you all in the US. So we do have another bullish month. It doesn't feel like it, but Bitcoin closed the month out of June above its previous close high in May. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 months of positive bullish momentum. And since the election, actually, you start here in September when talks of that was coming through, we've only had 3 down months, but we're up from the all-time high. Monthly close, not all-time high in Bitcoin. So it doesn't feel like a bull run or like parabolic moves. But again, for me, I am much more happier with this because I was in the wrong shit last time. And the reason why most people feel upset or uneasy or whatever with the crypto market is because you're probably overweighted or over leveraged in shit tokens, things you don't understand that you're just hoping to moon. So you want the markets to kind of respond to the poor allocations and decisions you've made. So in this situation, like, I'm Gucci. I am perfectly happy with BTC at these levels because I can continue to stack sats at these levels. And I believe in the long-term outcome of this, that it will go up further. So again, the absolute worst case scenario is it doesn't, and we just trade sideways. Well, okay, cool. It just doesn't make any logical sense with all of the foundational improvements globally in this asset class, or specifically in this asset. So it's like, yeah, why would you not be bullish, and why would you be trying to see Bitcoin take off? Because usually, again, seeing Bitcoin moon the price, that's because we want to sell the Bitcoin or be richer in fiat terms. But the goal is to evaluate everything in Bitcoin. So if you are seriously looking at this of unplugging from the matrix and evaluating your portfolio in Bitcoin terms as well as your lifestyle in Bitcoin terms, then you should want to have lower Bitcoin prices so you can get more sats when you want to be honest with yourself. All right, that was my rant. Let me go into the actual, what do you call this thing? Portfolio update. So the first one that I did, man, I started this way back. How long ago is this now? Back at the end of November. So remember, I got into this after kind of the hype here. So it was after this. It's like, oh shit, let me create a altcoin portfolio. And also, what about people that feel like they're too late? So the monthly close there was just at 100K, and we're only up 110. So you still had plenty of opportunity, but let's see how that would have performed. So remember, the further out on the risk curve you go, or basically adding anything to your portfolio besides Bitcoin, you have more risk and, of course, more reward, more potential, the volatility in the other alts because they're smaller cap and they can move more. So when we look at this portfolio that I made, this is copying again Raoul Pal's Don't Fuck This Up, 80-20, 80% into Bitcoin and 20% into whatever else you feel like. It doesn't really actually matter. I particularly went with Solana, Sui, Doge, and Smoking Chicken Fish. But here's the interesting thing to note is that so far, because we have not had an altcoin season yet, Bitcoin has outperformed this portfolio. And it's actually by 20%. So if I would have stayed in Bitcoin only, I would be up 19.88%. But because I have 20% of my portfolio in alts, and even, well, I guess they're all alts, but also some meme tokens, I am barely in profit, 2% in profit. You can see that down here. Hopefully you guys are looking at that down. Didn't bother with zooming in or anything like that. So what that goes to show you is that, yeah, as long as we are in a Bitcoin dominant cycle, then you want to hold the strongest asset, the dominant asset. That would be Bitcoin. That is literally the definition of when altcoin season happens, is Bitcoin dominance falls and the alts pump. So a portfolio like this is great for new people, and for those that don't really want to follow the market and don't understand the risk involved. I would say that's great. You just stay humble, stack sats, and you'll be fine. Now, Bitcoin will fall. I don't know if that's what after it shoots to 150, 200, 300, something like that. Like Michael Saylor said, yeah, we can still see 50% drawdowns, but that could be after we get up to 300 or 400K. So I have no idea, but it's just interesting to see that 20% return on this portfolio since November. So what is that? 7 months in? Not bad. It's not, anything to write home about. But if you're curious about this portfolio allocation, it is $50 is dollar cost averaging or buying $100 worth of these tokens every week. And this is just simulated. So I'm not actually doing this. This is not actually my portfolio. I do have something similar that I'm doing DCAs on with Coinbase on a daily basis. But what this does is buys $50 worth of Bitcoin. You can see the numbers here. It's not always exact. But $50 worth of Bitcoin, $30 worth of Solana, 10 worth of Sui, 5 of Doge, and 5 of Smoky Chicken Fish. That comes out to roughly $100 every week. Hasn't been exactly the same day each week, like not every Friday, but once a week in general. So again, with this allocation, it's 2% in the green. Would have been 20% in the green if it was all in Bitcoin. Now, here's the flip side. If you're sitting in alts, then you're probably looking kind of wrecked like me. You might have gotten lucky, found some alts if you got in there early enough. But this is the altcoin portfolio that I created, leveraging like top 200. It was the one I did a video on. It showed you how I allocated it. And basically it's was looking at some of the top performers from last cycle and hoping that as retail FOMO's in, they'll see these on their Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, KuCoin apps, and they'll just buy some of it because they have low prices. But so far, this has just shit the bed. So this portfolio is down 35% versus Bitcoin's 18% that it's up. So, and again, that's to be expected because we are in Bitcoin dominance. So these are things you need to understand about cycles. Now, even though this cycle is looking very different than the last one, I don't have that video up from Plan B. Let me see here. Yeah, taking a look at his chart, you see all the previous cycles had this big, well, not big, it's got smaller and smaller over the time because of the logarithmic scale. But this clearly is more sideways than vertical. So it does look very different. And if you were in last time, it feels very different as well. Even in the stock to flow model, you have similar. So because of that, depending on where you went with your initial allocations, you may feel as though the bull market's over and shit hit the fan and it's all downhill from here. Well, then unfortunately, that just means you poorly allocated and went into the wrong shit. That's just the only thing I can tell you. And that's exactly what I did last cycle. I was in shit tokens, community cult projects. And I was mentioning to somebody in my chat today, it's like, yeah, I don't even pay attention to that shit no more. Like, it is such a different feeling when you're in you have the right weighting, the right allocations, the right assets. Like, you can really sit back and just feel good about the market. You don't have to wonder when your bag's going to pump because, yeah, you've allocated properly. It's like you've removed the risk. That anxiety and stress and confusion and bitterness, resentment, all those negative emotions are coming from basically the point that you have just made poor decisions. That's just the easiest way to slice it, man. It may sound rough and tough to swallow, but that's the truth because I've been there. So right now, I'm actually perfectly content with where things are at. Don't have to think about it. I have a DCA set up every day, $100 a day for Bitcoin. And then I just sit back and let it do its thing. I have some buy orders in, but that's about it. Like, I do hope and pray that altcoin season does come because I still have alts from last cycle. Like showed you guys before, I bought some Cardano. I have some BNB. I still have some very small bag of XRP. Have even OKX because of the hype that they had put out and what I thought was going to happen with them. So I got alts sitting out there, and they're not doing anything. So it looks similar to this portfolio. Not an exact, but yeah, there's money sitting there that I'm like, yo, can you at least get past your all-time highs from last year? So I can just roll out of this shit and into something else. But yeah, that's the update. So we'll see how this performs. I still think so far, Raoul Pal has been spot on, man. This literally shows you in real time if you would have followed that allocation with 20% into anything else, you would be at least break even. I mean, I guess if you had put 20% in some other really, really shitty assets, then maybe you'd be worse off. But clearly it shows that Bitcoin is the key to unfucking your future. All right, smash that HBO special. Help a brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.